Hello, welcome back to Let's Play this game, Baldur's Gate 3. Last video I ranted and raved about how I wish games had shorter runs. Hundreds of hours of content, yes, but the actual individual runs being shorter. So that, like, you could complete a run in a weekend or two rather than several months. And then the next weekend, you play a different run and get a whole different story. And I know I've already ranted about this a lot, but and I did it in a urban fantasy type stuff. Now, if I were rescue Orin's victim. If I were to do it in a this type of thing, you would have your background, your class, your race, and depending on which you take, you would have if you change you have your background, that gives you a set of stories, side stories that can show up. Your race gives you a set of, or ancestry gives you a set of side stories that can show up. Your class gives you a set of side stories that can show up, and the main threat would be one of 3 or 4 different things, and they are programmed with different dialogues so that they can mesh in together. Depending, they're like modular, but they are designed to alter the dialogue in little ways to account for which modules are active. So then I could play as a dragon, let's say a orc dragon sorcerer who was a folk hero, and end up with a very different story than playing a human fighter noble. And it would almost seem like 2 different games. It's just because different modules are active. And I wouldn't know the main threat until, I start encountering things. Have different main threats have some side stories connected to them, so you're not entirely sure which is the main threat. Or, here's the other way you could do it. Which turns out to be the main threat is basically which one you focus on last, because which one you focus on. Because if you focus on one threat, the other 2 threats are going to gain in power, so that you end up having some side stories with them and hearing about them. But if you focus on them on a particular threat, you can remove it early in the game or in the middle of the game, and then the last threat would be the one that is that one. That method is, however, a little bit because then you have the same main threats in every game. You can decide. I much prefer that the actual main story would be modular and slipped in, that it just, you don't choose it, the game chooses it. The other thing this would do is it makes what do you call it? No, I don't want to go there. It makes the idea of DLC very interesting, because you can have DLC be different modules, like different classes, different races, different backgrounds, perhaps different hub cities. Could you imagine if the module you choose is like, I want to start my gameplay in like here in this, you're always a Balduran. But what if sometimes you chose a background as you're from Waterdeep? Come on, that's weird. And you came to Baldur Gate for some other reason. You could have different. Wait. No, you're a refugee I can't talk to. Never mind. Okay. So yeah, that is kind of my idea. Kind of have a modular thing. You're not dealing with every side story and every companion at you have a bit. Oh yeah, and companions would have their own side stories, of course. So like if you're a noble, you would have a slot of 10, 15 possible companions, and maybe 2 of them would show up. Same with if you're a spider, then you might have X number of companions that show up, and so on and so forth. And you get to choose which of, and the game randomizes which ones show up. So even if you're playing noble, if you're playing noble, fighter, human, you might end up with different side stories, different companions, and a different main threat based off randomization. You'll have some overlap, but even then it would be a lot different. And again, you could finish one story in a weekend with 20, 30 hours if you spend all your time in one weekend on it. Or, a couple weeks if you do it like I do and you spend an hour or 2 every week on it. Instead of, I've been at this for, I think, 2 years. Griefguard Affair. Yep. We just had a save. Time to start looking into elixirs. Okay. I type. Okay. What is this? Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. I could give that to you. I think there are going to be different things. I think I want Cloud Giant Strength to go to you.
Let's move.
Cool. Need more Elixir of Vigilance. Interesting. Battle Mages. What is Arcane Acuity? For each remain. Okay, no. Okay. Elixir. Bloodlust. Yeah, we're gonna have Slip drink that again. I probably should have given that to Karlak, actually. You know what? We just had a save. We're gonna do that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because we're gonna get into what is supposedly the hardest fight of the game. So we'll come to it later. I mean, this one I will still have on a replay a very different thing because I would go do the Githyanki playthrough, the Githyanki Kresh thing. I would probably do more with with Raphael because we've just sort of ignored him. I don't know that I would be doing anything with Gale's story arc because I can't stand Gale. But yeah, or Asterion. I could have done a little bit more with the Asterion story arc. Will's story arc. But anyway, so there's still replayability here. The main problem is to finish one run is over 100 hours, and that just gets exhausting. Okay. Karlak, we're going to give you some bloodlust.
Still breathing despite everything.
Huh. $227. I'm not going to risk it. Okay, what are the other elixirs you have? Strong paralytic poison. Increased chance of critical hit. Cloud Giant Strength would actually be a good one for you because melee. So here.
No time to rest.
And give you that. And slip.
Can't stop me yet.
Going to give you the elixir of viciousness to increase chance of criticals. Why is your AC only 11? Damn. We need to get you two some cloaks. 2-turn slumber. That's short rest. Oh, I was thinking about changing her class, her subclass rather. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to make me rebuild her.
Need to find a way forward.
Do I want her to be a light cleric?
No time to dally. No time to waste. No harm in a little conversation.
There's a dumbwaiter.
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Can you help me change my class?
As thou desire.
So we're going to say cleric. And it's either light, which is very a lot of it's artillery. Light is artillery. Or life. Which makes her healing ability that much higher. Oh, it also let her wear heavy armor. Light is very Selune, which is what she is now. But I think I'm going to go with life. And now we have to level her up. Cool. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, the cleric is very cookie cutter. Aid and lesser restoration. Gained a cantrip and a feat. Blade ward. Could give Told the Dead. That one's actually pretty useful. Bursting Sinew. Interesting. Produce flame. Let's do Thaumaturgy. Warcaster is one we gave her. We don't have any heavy armor to really give her. There we go. Increase that hit points. We don't really have... Okay. Leveling up a cleric is really easy. There are so few... Uh-huh, cool. Where's your shield? Death Ward and Guardian of Faith. Here we go, another feat. Ah, Divine Strike Radiant instead of Poison. We are going to go for another improvement to get her to there. Should have another cantrip coming soon. Yep. Pull the Dead is just good. I gave her Warcaster. It hasn't been as useful as I wanted. We should find you some heavy armor, shouldn't we? What is ritual? Choose 2 ritual spells of your choice. Mage Slayer is interesting, but I don't think that's what we need. I know this. They don't have the healer feat. Spell Sniper is a thing you could give, but don't think that's great. Warcaster's fine. We are already heavily armored. What about resilience? Or mobile? We're slowing down for me to revamp her. Heavy Armor Master. If we do this, we need to get her some actual heavy armor. We're going to need to get her some heavy armor anyway because her dex is 10. Okay. Cool. So... 2d4 to weapon. Oh, right. Really cool. Yep. Okay, hello. So where is the Traveler's Chest? There it is. We need to get you some better armor. Eternal Devotion. What does that do? Oh, Regain a channel. Oof. Regain a channel divinity. Let's see what else we have.
My faith will guide me.
Okay. What kind of dies do we have for you? Is this a die? Let's try dies. Harlequin, black and white. Black and azure. Boreal blue day. Oh yeah, that looks good. Cool. So now we need to, we don't need a long rest because we've already done it, but we do need to adjust your spell book. What do you have prepared? Good and evil, hold person, spiritual weapon. I don't think we need bestow curse. Daylight, glyph of warding, remove curse. We don't need speak with dead. Hero's feast. Oh yeah, we need to start casting that. Planner binding, insect plague, healing word. Okay. Cool. Freedom of movement and banishment. Why are there only 4 there? Glyph of warding. Mass healing word. Cure wounds. Revivify. Cure wounds and mass cure wounds. Okay. Healing word should be here too. It is. Shield of Faith. We're doing bless more than that. Huh. I mean, we only have one and it's going to be Hero's Feast, so that's not really useful. Dispel good and evil. It's concentration. Oh, let's throw in the classic Flame Strike. Okay. Healing energy that restores your allies. Radiant and turn undead. Okay. Cool. Gonna save again. And then we're going to go back to the House of Grief and we're going to have Shadowheart do her thing. See you then.